The Pokemon anime is the latest to fall. What happened? Is there any precedent for this situation? And what does it mean for the future of Pokemon? Hey everyone, it's Charles. As you know, the Corsola measles situation has been wreaking havoc across the entertainment industry throughout the world, and Pokemon has not come out of this unscathed. Pokemon Go had to be significantly altered to remain safely playable. The Play Pokemon Circuit and Pokemon World Championships have been cancelled, and now Corsola measles have cancelled the Pokemon anime. Or rather, we should say Corsola measles have put the Pokemon anime on an indefinite hiatus. For how long, we don't know, but with the situation heating up here in Japan, it is not looking particularly peachy. It's a disappointing turn of events for all of us who love tuning into the Pokemon anime, but it doesn't mean we can't make an interesting chat out of it and bring some positivity to the table as well. So today we are going to briefly discuss what happened so that we're all up to speed, and then dive into the history of the anime's hiatuses and skipped episodes before we arrive at what this means for the anime now and moving forward. But first, I have to ask you, with no new episodes coming out anytime soon, what kind of content would you like to see right here on the Charu channel? I'll choose one video from the comments to make, so please let me know what you're interested in seeing. Anywho, TM28, the like button for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe for the world's greatest Sawsbuck AMV content, and let's jump right in. The situation regarding the tentative cancellation of the Pokemon anime is something that we could see coming for weeks. In early April, TV Tokyo, the station that has served as the home of the Pokemon anime since its inception, announced the closure of location and studio recordings for dramas and variety shows. And on April 13th, TV Tokyo announced that the station would take a 6-day holiday to mitigate the spread of Corsola measles. Neither of these things would necessarily impact the Pokemon anime directly, but they certainly foreshadowed what was to come. The inevitable cancellation became crystal clear on April 10th when Rika Matsumoto, the voice actor who has voiced Ash in the Japanese version of the anime since the very beginning, posted this to Twitter. "I don't have any work, so I went on a long vacation. I don't even know what time I should wake up or what time I should sleep. I'm surprised at how bad I am at time management. Yesterday too, I stayed up watching movies and it was 6 AM before I realized it. It feels something like having jet lag. I've gotta pull myself together." Given that she is the sole voice actor for Ash, lending her voice to the anime on a weekly basis, if this wasn't a clear indication of what was to come, then I don't know what was. And sure enough, the official Pokemon anime Twitter account followed up a couple days ago with the crushing tweet we were all afraid of. They announced that due to the current situation and the state of emergency in Japan, the show's production has been partially shut down and new episodes have been postponed, and that broadcasting stations will be airing reruns of older episodes starting next Sunday. And we will hear at a later date when exactly the anime is coming back. Of course, this is the appropriate course of action to protect everyone's safety, but it has certainly sent a huge ripple through the Pokemon community, as going on hiatus is a huge deal for everyone, from the creators to the TV stations to the fans. So much so that it has only happened once in the history of the anime, when the show was suspended for an entire 4 months. Of course, I am referring to the Pokemon Shock fiasco. Ben no Senshi Porygon aired in Japan on December 16th, 1997, and quickly became ingrained in anime lore as the very first Pokemon anime episode to be pulled off air and banned. As you may know, 20 minutes in, Pikachu unleashes a thunderbolt that triggers an explosion of rapidly flashing red and blue lights, the speed and intensity of which gave thousands of viewers nausea, dizziness, headaches, blurred vision, and sent nearly 700 children to the hospital via ambulance, with epileptic seizures, blindness, or even loss of consciousness. Of course, a percentage of those sent to the hospital were deemed to have only mild symptoms that didn't require hospital treatment, and some experts have attributed the more widespread ailments inflicted by the episode to mass hysteria rather than photosensitive epilepsy itself. But either way, the results were the same. Pokemon was widely removed from video rental shelves across the country, TV Tokyo got put on blast for airing the episode, Nintendo's stock dropped significantly due to their attachment to the series, broadcasters and officials rushed to create new guidelines so this kind of incident would never happen again, and the Pokemon anime altogether disappeared for 4 months. This would result in the subsequent 2 episodes being shown out of order a year later, which resulted in a very strange time paradox, a blow to the finances of OLM, voice actors, and other contractors involved in the anime's production, and of course, 4 months of no adventures with Pikachu and Ash to enjoy. And now we are here today with the second forced hiatus of the Pokemon anime. I've heard a number of fans expressing their concerns that certain episodes of the anime will be skipped as a result of the hiatus. And while it's possible that filler episodes down the line that we don't even know about could get the axe if there's a need to squeeze the run of the anime down in time for whatever comes next, it's unlikely that anything currently on the table will get cut. After all, to the extent of my knowledge, there were only ever 2 broader societal events that caused airing conundrums resulting in episodes getting entirely skipped in Japan. The first was episode 101 of Advanced Generation Shaking Island Battle Dojochi vs. Namazun, a fairly inconsequential episode that was canned because the earthquakes in the show mirrored the real-life earthquakes that had recently occurred in Niigata just a little too closely for comfort. The second skipped episode, or episodes, comprised a 2-part special, the original episodes 23 and 24 of the Best Wishes series, Team Rocket vs. Team Plasma Parts 1 and 2. 2 episodes that were intended to air on March 17th and March 24th, 2011. But the tragic events that took place in Japan on March 13th of that year led to them being unaired, and ultimately being retconned out of the series canon altogether. This was particularly interesting because these episodes were intended to mark the proper entry of Team Plasma into the anime, something that thereafter wouldn't occur until a couple years later in Team Plasma's power plot as a result. Considering that they skipped this 2-parter, but they did air Battling for the Love of Bug Types on March 17th, 2011, one can only assume that something tied to the impact on studio resources or the availability of talent tied into those particular episodes during the March 11th to March 17th production window made it more practical to simply move forward. Regarding the new anime, given what has been announced and what we have seen previews of, I can't see anything meaningful getting scrapped. The return of Korina, the debut of Raihan, the entrance of Sobble, these are all key events. So if anything does get cut, it's likely to be some filler later on that you never even know about, something that could be scrapped anyways at the whim of some fluctuation in production schedules. And so, while it is kind of depressing that we have to wait for a long time to see what happens next in the anime, there is no need to worry about the future of the anime. We just have to wait a little bit longer to get our eyes on it. What all of this does mean is that now is a great opportunity to catch up with some of the classic segments of the anime, to immerse ourselves in the video games and the series lore, and even delve into some other excellent anime or manga to spice things up, because there is simply so much great content out there to enjoy. For me personally, I plan to do some analysis videos on topics related to the new Pokemon series as well as older seasons, and in my spare time, kick back and continue sailing through One Piece and getting pumped up with Haikyuu, the 2 anime that I am currently watching. And I also recently wrapped up Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I'm itching to play a Zelda game, so perhaps a playthrough of Majora's Mask is also on the menu. It's tough seeing people's livelihood swaying off balance on the edge of a knife, and seeing so much entertainment and so many wonderful events vanished into nothingness for the time being. But if you flip over the coin, it is also such a powerful opportunity to stay home and shine through the darkness with a good anime, a game, a manga, a book, a personal project, and to spend time with your loved ones, your fish, or even your Gardevoir body pillow. I know that's what I plan on doing. All those things except for violating a Gardevoir body pillow. But how about you? What are you going to watch while Pokemon is on hiatus? Are you playing any video games or reading any manga or books? What kind of content do you want to see here on the Chadu channel? And how are you spending your days with positivity in spite of the Corsola measles situation? Subscribe, hit me up on Twitter at Chadu. I hope you all have a healthy and happy week. And as always, let's chat.